Hello everybody, and welcome to another live stream on the Nitsudge Nobel Twitch channel. My name is Nitsudge, and today we are playing some Splatoon, some Twitch, and... we just got a follow from... I can't read that name. NBTELY? Nubtly? Nubtly? Well, anyway, welcome to the stream. We are playing some more Splatoon. It is 10:30. Nightly. Okay. I'm sorry, that tripped me up. That tripped me up quite a bit. So, we are playing some Splatoon 3. For some reason the stream just stuttered there. I did see that actually. I saw a really cool splash tag actually out here. So, we're just going to quickly grab a screenshot of that. And I hope you will enjoy hanging out with us for 2, maybe 3 hours. Coming up in a few days, and by a few days I mean starting next week Friday, which will be I think the 1st of April? I'm gonna check my calendar here. Okay, so, no, it will be the 31st of March. And the 31st of March is the Splatfest. And as you can probably see, I am at catalog level 12. Now we do have until May 31st to finish out the catalog. However, I do not want to wait that long. So, we are doing some grinding in the week leading up to the Splatfest. And I hope you will all join and enjoy doing this alongside me. After this round, I'm going to do a little bit of a quick rejigger to my setup, since this new streaming rig that I'm using actually allows me to do something cool that I haven't been able to do with my previous rig. And that will be using my headphones at the same time as my mic, and meaning that I'll be able to have a live audio check of the stream, and so that'll bring all sorts of nice improvements. Because currently what I've been doing is actually using my Bluetooth earbuds in combination with my phone, and that causes some issues when I'm talking at the same time as I'm hearing it back to myself. If that makes sense. So, it might not make sense, but... you know when someone's talking and you feel bad because you're talking over them, but it's yourself, and you're hearing the thing that you just said like 40 seconds ago, and it messes with your head? That's what it's like with my current setup. So, my thing tells us we've got... Oh, okay. Well, nightly, or nately, either way, it sort of has this weird thing where it's like hearing an echo, but it's not like an echo, it's the same thing that you just said, and it sort of breaks your brain. Now, it's really quite bad when it's like, actually like less than a second difference. It really quite breaks my head. I'm sure if we talked to Toby, he would note the same thing. Though the longer you do it, the more you get used to it. But if you notice, I use and I'll repeat myself quite a bit, entirely because my brain is hearing myself saying it back. It's kind of like when I'm listening to something and I'm typing, and I'll start to type out what I'm hearing. We've got 4 viewers. Hello and welcome. Feel free to drop your name in chat. Yeah, it's essentially the same thing, where you're hearing yourself back and it breaks your head. Now, the other thing that's worse about this is I can't hear the gameplay audio, so I'm hearing the audio from, like, 8 seconds ago. Yeah, or like, I tend to listen to music when I do any creative writing, and I'll start writing out the song lyrics. Alright, now I'm gonna quickly change so that way I'll be able to hear over my, my mic. To anyone tuning in right now, this is going to seem very odd because you're just listening to abject silence, and my very distant voice, as I walk back over to my mic, it will get louder. Alright, so let's... Alright, ooh, haha, alright. So, I'm just gonna quickly check to make sure that this isn't causing any interference with the stream. Okay, so it's not. That's good. Haha. Well, I'm glad the gurgles are a satisfactory replacement for my voice. Oh, crap, I just started coming through over my phone's speakers. Alright. Alright, so let's get right into this. So, we will... Oh, that is not what I meant to do. Haha. Alright, and we will start up another regular battle. Alright. So, we have 3 viewers currently, but only 1 active. Nightly, by the way, I'd like to thank you for coming and hanging out on the stream. I hope it is enjoyable to watch. Nightly, I'm curious. Do you have a Nintendo Switch by chance? Ah, you do. And let me ask you a question about your Nintendo Switch. Do you have Splatoon 3 by chance? You do indeed, and let me ask you one follow-up question, Nightly. Do you happen to have Nintendo Switch Online? Actually, you must if you have Splatoon and, Yes, it would be very hard to play Splatoon 3 without Nintendo Switch Online. Well, Nightly, would you like to join me in playing some Splatoon Online today? Because we can very easily arrange that. We can take a quick stream break here, while I get some water, because I did not grab myself any water before live streaming, and I can send you my friend code, or you can send me yours, and I can send you a friend request, and we can get this all set up. Now, the one difficult thing about the streaming setup I currently have is that in order to check chat, I have to look down at my phone, which is on the arm of my chair. Now, ideally... So I know a lot of streamers, especially people who do, like, first-person shooters, they will play at a desk, and, what's more is that they will actually have like multiple monitors set up, and so their shooter is just one of many screens that they can sort of all see at the same time. But I like to play in a nice big comfy armchair. Alright, so, then, shit, I left my mouse over there. Alright, well, I will take a quick pause here, and grab a glass of water. Actually, I will fill up my decanter with water, and, you send me over your Switch friend code, and let's get this all set up. take a quick break. And we are back, and yes, Justin, you are cute. So, while on break, I got myself some more water. Delicious. And we are going to play some Splatoon with friends, and yes, Justin, you are in fact cute. So we are opening up the room, and Knightley in chat is going to be joining us, and you can also join us, Justin. So, feel free to hop in, and I'm sending out the invite now. Also, we've got another viewer. Hello, and welcome to the stream. We must have a couple of lurkers, since we've only got 2 active chatters, but 3 viewers. Yeah, that's what it does when it's leaning up to it. Ah, okay. Well, Justin, you can come hang out in the meantime. I will, however, be closing my Discord right now. Not ending my account. That's kind of a requirement for my whole stream setup working, as well as having many, many friendships with all of you guys. But I will just be minimizing out of it so I can see all of chat. Alright, so... Alright, well... Alright, Knightley, you are in. And Knightley, Justin had asked how you're doing, so I'm actually kind of curious myself. How are all of you doing? Not just Knightley, but Justin as well. How are you all doing? Oh, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. Ah, well, RPs are always fun. Shit, caught my controller on my mic cables. This is one of the downside of a mostly wired setup is cables everywhere. Oh, We've got 3 dually users. Nightly, are you using dualies as well? Or are you the one person breaking ranks and using a roller? I'm curious. Oh, Oh, Justin, Nightly is on Toby's server as well. Ah, you're using the roller. Well, rollers are a pretty good weapon. I personally am a dually man myself, but that's more because I like to get in close and run campaigns of harassment against the enemy. Sort of like the equivalent of Splatoon guerrilla warfare. Ah, there you are, Nightly. Shit. I know when to run away. Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious, what are your favorite Splatoon 3 maps? I haven't really gotten a feel for any of the ones in the newest update that kicked off this new season of Splatoon with the new box and whatnot, the new catalog. Just can't aim. That's fair enough. One thing I don't use is motion controls. I personally do not find them all that handy. I'd be curious to know what all your favorite Splatoon 3 maps are. Me personally, my favorite has got to, and I mean got to, go to the revamped Undertow Spill. That's what it is. The Undertow Spillway. That's the one where you're fighting underneath the bridge. That one has absolutely got to take the cake for me as being the best Splatoon 3 map. And I just realized I might have been talking into this thing wrong the entire time. Nightly, if you're gonna share your Discord, feelings for what? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Mine is definitely the Undertow Spillway. Well, partly because it takes me back to the Wii U days, those halcyon days of my gaming. Because so me and gaming have a kind of weird relationship with each other. You'd think, based on how much I know about game history and whatnot, that gaming would have been a absolutely colossal part of my life, but because of Nightly just standing behind a wall there, because of some things that happened with me growing up, gaming and me have always had a little bit of an odd relationship with each other. For example, when I was growing up, I had a DS and a Wii and a Game Boy Advance, not in that order. But getting new games was actually a rare thing. So, for example, I'd maybe get a new Game Boy game or DS game like once a month, and it would always, it wasn't actually ever actually a new game. It would always be whatever was cheapest at the game store. So I have a bunch of these really weird used games that someone was just like, oh, this is so crap, I can't deal with this anymore, and got rid of it at the game store. And I have a bunch of those. That's the same with my my Wii games, actually, were all mostly used up until about 5 years ago. Okay, they were still all used, but they were all whatever was cheapest at the used store, as opposed to the games that I wanted to get. The DS was the same way. And the Wii U was the first proper console where it wasn't just whatever was cheapest at the used store. I remember getting, like, actually having the ability to choose what games I got, and I still remember the first game that I bought with like properly my money from my first actual job was Super Mario Maker for the Wii U, and honestly, I think that was one of the best games on the Wii U. Now, given I have much love for Mario Maker 2 and platformers in general, it would be pretty obvious that Splatoon, or not Splatoon, but Mario Maker would definitely be one that I would consider an all-time classic. Oh, yeah. The GameCubes did sometimes have trouble with those. Oh. So, not GameCube, Wii U, they would sometimes have trouble with the gamepads, where they wouldn't always stay synced. I never had a huge amount of trouble with it. Actually, still don't when I go over to my my parents' place, which is pretty often, actually. More than twice a week, most weeks, though. But with being fired and looking for a job and interviews and stuff, and well, doing this. By Mark, I assume you meant March, like where you do one of those long stretches with the thing right at the end, I'll assume. Yeah, so I still go over to my folks, and actually, every time I go over, every time we still play Mario Kart 8 on the Wii, the Wii U, I should say, and I am always the person on the gamepad. Don't know why. It was like that growing up, like when I was younger, and it was like always the person on the gamepad. Always the person on the gamepad. So, you know. Yeah, I've actually been meaning to pick myself up a Wii U. Getting it hooked up for the stream. So my ultimate setup, which I want to hopefully get for streaming, is well, first when the tax return comes in, I'm getting a big flat screen. Not that I'm on anything other than a flat screen, but you know, I'm on two nice 16:9 monitors, but the one I'm playing on is one I've had in my bedroom since I was 8, and it was a TV that we got when I got my Wii U Mini. That little top-loading... Well, that was fucking weird. Oh, that's weird. I'm Not sure why that would be happening. I'm watching the stream back on mobile, and it's not seeming to buffer, but mobile is sometimes weird. So, yeah, the thing I've got right now, watching Switch on, is literally the TV I have been gaming on since I was a wee lad. Not but a wee lad. When I got my my Wii Mini when I was actually 2 years before the Wii U came out, so that was actually 12 years ago. Oh gee, fuck, I feel old now. Fuck, I feel old. Yeah, so 2 years before the Wii U came out, I got a Wii Mini, and that was the same year that I got this this Insignia TV, which I'm not sure if Insignia is a thing in the States. It's the house brand at Best Buy. Not sure if Best Buy is a thing in the States either, actually. So you Yankees, feel free to tell me if Best Buy is a thing you've got there. But and I've been playing on this TV since I got it, because I got it and I used it for my Wii Mini, and when I moved out to go to college for the 3 months that I stayed in college, mostly because I did not have enough money to keep going if I didn't take out a student loan, so I just stopped after literally 1 semester. So I didn't keep going with that. Oh, Best Buy is a thing in the States. Well, alright, yeah. So I brought it back with me, hooked it up to a RetroPie, and took courses at Wanker College to become a network tech, which I am now. Well, technically I'm unemployed right now, but that's because I got, like, sacked 2 weeks ago and replaced with someone cheaper. A person who I trained, so they know their way around the system. They're a good guy. I don't begrudge him any for taking the job. Well, actually, it's not a guy. It's a girl. It's a woman. But I don't begrudge her any for taking the job because, well, this economy, I would certainly take a job if I could get one. But yeah, Insignia is their house brand, at least up in Canada anyway. I'm not sure if they've got a different no-name brand in the States. But anyway, after I came back home, I hooked it up to a RetroPie, and played some ROMs that I had ripped myself. A friend of mine has one of those rippers for Game Boy games, and so I went through and I ripped my entire archive of old Game Boy games onto that and played them up on a big screen, which was fine, I guess. Yeah, okay, look up the issue, yeah. So I hooked it up to a RetroPie and played games that I ripped. So entirely legal, and that's actually been defended in both Canadian and United States law that ripping your own games is legal. I also purchased some ROMs from companies that have resold their old ROMs for Atari and Genesis and stuff like that, and had a lot of fun with those. And when I got a Switch, which was a couple years back at this point, it's been 2 years now with a Switch. Fuck, it's been 2 years with a Switch. That's wow. Okay. Fuck, I feel old. Oh, Wanker College. Wanker is it's like, you know those books like Something or Other for Dummies, like Programming for Dummies, Latin for Dummies? Well, a Wanker College is basically something that does that. it's not actually a college per se, in that you don't get a school-leaving certificate. Well, you do get a school-leaving certificate, but it's more. It's essentially like you took a bunch of courses, and you get all of the certifications that come with those, rather than just going to college and, say, getting a bachelor's in network engineering or network repair or anything like that. I have a bunch of little certifications which essentially add up to one of those. But instead of doing 4 years, I did it all in a year. And it cost me a whole hell of a lot less. But, yeah. It's not actually called Wanker College. I won't say what it's called, because then you could look up where it is and know exactly where I live, and I don't feel like doxing myself-ish. So yeah, gonna give myself a battle bowler. And these, yeah, these shoes. So, yeah, it's actually the same college my dad went to as well, which is absolutely hilarious. Technically, I am the second generation of people to attend that particular college. So, yeah, that's kind of funny. Now, he did not go there for network engineering. He went there specifically for what's called back-end programming. Anyway, so yeah, I've had this monitor for well over 12 years, and I have no plans of retiring it. However, my other monitor, which is an Asus, the same company that now makes really crappy laptops, or at least in the tech business, the tech world, they have a reputation as being not very good. They're perfectly fine beater laptops. I used one of them when I did network technician stuff, because, well, I say when I did. When I was employed doing network technician stuff, I used a beater Asus for, like, documents and stuff like that. They're perfectly fine laptops. So anyway, shit. Yeah, that's fair. I will see you back when you get on your laptop. Just ping us and say hello. So, the Asus monitor I've had for actually longer than my Insignia monitor. However, well, the Insignia one is actually a TV. Like, it can take a RF or coaxial cable. I'm not sure if Americans call it that, or maybe you guys call it a satellite cable? But anyway, so it's like a proper TV. You know, it can be hooked up to an aerial. It even has screw terminals on the back, so I can hook up, and actually have hooked up an Atari 2600 to it. And I currently have a VCR hooked into it as well, into its composite stuff. And I have a Wii. It's the Wii Mini feeding into the VCR's composite input. Ah, shit. Alright, got out of dodge quick. So, yeah. But the Asus I've had for even longer. I got it back when, so I had a school project in grade 3 where we had to do a research project on an animal, and anyone want to take a guess what animal I decided to do my research project on? Well, I'll wait for this match to be over, but I did a research project on a particular animal. Oh, Asus. ASUS. They make computer monitors. They make... No, not a fox. I'm actually quite surprised you didn't get it. I did mine on sharks. But see, here was the issue. So the issue that we ran into was that I did not have a workable computer to do the research project on. And so here was the issue, was that the teacher wanted everyone to have a typed up report, not a written report, a typed up report. Now, this was in the early 2000s, the early mid 2000s? It was in the 2000s, anyway. Just recruit a proto? I have no idea why that didn't work. Do I... Oh, shit, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. Did the right thing. And we're gonna create a room. So I didn't have a viable screen to do it on. Actually, I didn't have a viable computer to type it up on either, actually. So what me and my dad ended up doing was we went to a used store and got the cheapest laptop we could find. Its screen was broken right off. And we got it for 20 bucks. It had Windows 95 on it. And then we went and got an Asus ASUS monitor from Best Buy. And it's funny, it's not an Insignia like the other one. It was the cheapest monitor that we could find in the entire store. Brought it home, set it up. We had to go out and grab another cable for it because the laptop had a VGA out, and the only thing that the Asus had on it was a display port input. A display, by the way, is what both I think the Wii U uses DisplayPort, which very easily converts over to HDMI. I don't think the Wii didn't use DisplayPort. It used a weird proprietary input cable, or output cable on its end, and then would use composite to talk to the monitor. So anyway, so we had to run out and grab an adapter cable from VGA to DisplayPort, and that made it work. I hope Justin gets back soon, because he's been out for a little bit, and I'm getting a little bit worried about him. So anyway, that's how I acquired that, but then this thing didn't have a composite port, so when, you know what's funny is every time me and my brother get together, like, it doesn't matter what it is, if we know that we're getting together, one of us will bring some way for us both to play Wii Sports. Boom, 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 boom. I can't do the theme justice, but the one I can do is the eShop theme. Favorite game in Wii Sports? Well, my favorite has to go to golf. Excuse me. My favorite has to undeniably go to golf. So when I was very young, my dad took me to a driving range, which I'm not sure if you know what that is, but essentially when you do the first hit in golf, it's a drive, and a driving range is a place for you to practice doing driving. But the cool thing about this driving range is that was all they did. Well, you could play putt-putt too, which putt-putt's what Americans call mini golf, I think. So anyway, they had this driving range, and you could get a bucket with 150 balls for $5. And so, like, once maybe twice a month, me and my dad would go and both get a bucket of 150 balls. You've seen tons of memes, and there's one you've driven past. Okay. Well, yeah, so yeah, golf on the Wii Sports quickly became my favorite game. Now, bowling is still the one I play the most, and come on, it's bowling, it's a classic. But I've still got to give massive, and I mean massive, love to golf, because that's actually how I got into proper golf, which I don't play as much as I would like, but I really do enjoy golf. I enjoy mini putt. Mini putt, mini golf, they're kind of interchangeable. I love golf. I love bowling too. But the bowling in Wii Sports just didn't quite feel right, analogous to me. So I played a lot more of the golf. But nowadays, bowling is the one that I tend to play the most. Now, I'd be curious, Knightley, have you played Nintendo Switch Sports? Driven past, nice. After this round, I'm gonna just message Justin on Discord, because I haven't heard or seen anything from him in chat. Okay, so I have now played literally every Nintendo Sports game. I played the Wii U port of Nintendo Switch, Nintendo. I played the Wii U port of the Wii Sports at my parents' place. I got the disc, and last time I was over there, I played it, and so now I can say I've literally played everything that is like a Wii Sports derivative. I've played Wii Sports. I've played Wii Sports Resort. I've played the Combo Pack disc. I have played Wii Sport. I've played Wii U Sports, which is the Wii U port of Wii Sports, and I've played Nintendo Switch Sports, and I'm going to be totally honest, and say something that's very likely heretical to a lot of people. I think Nintendo Switch Sports did a lot of stuff really well. And, I get why it gets the hate. If I was Nintendo, I would have made the Mii's front and center in the game, and made the new characters like a side thing, where it's like, oh yeah, you can pick these, but Mii's are front and center. That's how I would have handled it. In between rounds here, I'm just gonna quickly message Justin and see if he's alright. But, I think if they put the Mii's front and center, I think, people would have been a lot more accepting of the game. Ooh, new ability on the shoes. And yes, we are going to keep going. I'm actually kind of curious. Do, you Americans have nerds? I see you Americans. Do Americans have the candies called nerds, which are, are essentially little balls that are coated in a sort of acidic... Okay. I also love nerds. Both the candy and the kind of people. I mean, it'd be hard not to. I am a massive freaking nerd. I'm such a nerd. Nerd. I'm a nerd, I'm a weeb, I'm a furry. Nerd's Rope? What is Nerd's Rope? I've heard people talk about it. I'm curious what it is. Oh, you're using one of the umbrellas. I have never been able to wrap my head around how you play with one of the umbrellas. Yes, nerds, both the class of people and the snacks. Actually, they're both snacks. The candies are both great to eat. Okay, I've never had Nerd Rope, though. I'm kind of curious what it is. I've actually not even heard of it. Just shotgun shield. Okay, but here's the thing. You seem to have lagged out, I think. Nerd stuck to a long gummy. Okay, that sounds interesting. Not particularly bad, though. So, yeah, it doesn't sound bad at all. Now, personally, I'm a much more fan of Nerd's Classic, since I've never had Nerd Rope before. Well, Nerd Rope in one sense of the word. There's obviously the other sense, if you can't tell by the slightly lower register and the... Well, you can't actually see my eyebrows, but they're bouncing up and down. Okay, shotgun shield. Okay, yeah. So the thing I don't get about it, and maybe you can explain it to me, is how it's a very effective weapon, given how it slows the mobility right down. That's something that I've had trouble with a lot of weapons, is they slow your mobility down. That's fair enough. Did you change your name to GYF, by the way? Yeah, I figured that's what you meant when you said Belladonna. Okay, well, would you like me to fire up another room for us? Because I can very easily do that. I'm in fact doing it right now before I've even seen your answer. And I'm gonna send out the invites. So all my viable friends can join. Now, I also happen to know that Implord... you would indeed end stream lag. Okay. I also happen to know that Implord has Splatoon, as well as Justin. So, if you have a particular... I'm not sure if you picked a Splatfest team yet, actually. I'd love to know if you did, and if you did, what team you picked. Because that to me is something I'm actually curious about. I went with Team Aliens because, well, I'll show you the obvious reason later. And not just because there's talk of an alien mothership being in our solar system. I don't think that's actually true. You have not chosen a team yet. Okay. Well, I went with Team Aliens. Just thinking out loud here, if we all went Team Aliens, we could totally spend the Splatfest playing together. I could actually fire up a dedicated Discord server that we could, you know, either keep or burn down after the weekend, and have all 4 of us online and doing Splatfest. Now, obviously, you know, we'd all have stuff, but hopefully there'd be times where over the 3 days we would all be available and on call together. Yeah, I think, one thing, I've wanted to be on Fry's team for ages, and, I finally had one where I actually agreed with Fry, because, she was on Alien. Shiver is like, hands down my favorite of the current troop. When the game... I'd actually be curious to know who your favorite of the 3 is. So when the game came out, initially, I was not a huge fan of Fry or Shiver. I was Big Man all the way. Well, partly because sharks, and as I learned when I did that presentation when I was very young, and manta rays are both ray-finned fish and are very closely related. But also, like, Big Man's just really kind of chill, and I liked his vibes. But after having played through the campaign, and seen more stuff and whatnot, both Shiver and Fry have grown on me, such that Shiver has become my favorite of the trio, though Fry is... Well, yes, also a Sunshine callback, which is kind of interesting given... So it's kind of back and forth on me. My favorite 3D Mario game is either Mario Sunshine or Mario Galaxy, and it kind of varies from day to day which one I'd say is my favorite. Right now I'd say Galaxy, but there have been days when I've said Sunshine. Yeah, I can get that. Shiver has become my favorite. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Shiver's become my favorite, in part because I've had an interesting argument. Oh yeah, Mario Galaxy is great. Over the summer, I'm actually planning on doing a marathon where I play through every Mario game which is on the Switch, which I think is all but like a small handful of Mario games. Oh, Mario Galaxy has some great music. Ba 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 dum. I know, and Charles Martinet as Mario going, Super Mario Galaxy, Yahoo! Like, oh. What's sad is that I never beat it on a Wii. I played it every day when I got it for more than a month, and I never beat it. It actually took me getting a Nintendo Switch and then getting Super Mario 3D All-Stars for me to beat my favorite Mario game, or one of my two favorite Mario games. Oh. You wanna know what really makes you feel old is when you get one of them Zoomer kids in, where you work, and you just start talking around the water cooler with the guys and the gals and non-binary pals about, you know, what's going on and about stuff. And so at the old job I had that I got sacked at, where I was one of the network technicians, I got talking about games that we loved, and I said, "Oh yeah, I really like Mario Galaxy," and one of the new guys that we'd hired, well, not we, the manager hired, that eventually replaced. Actually, everyone there is now gone. I was the last remaining guy there from the old guard. There's still 2 women left in HR, I believe, but they're technically contract workers. They don't technically work for the old company, and so they can get a a renewed contract at a lower salary than the rest of us could, we could not be issued a pay cut because of our contract with the company. It was an employment contract as opposed to being a contract worker, which is a legally different thing. And so we got talking about Mario Galaxy or old games that we loved, and you know, some people were talking about, oh, the original Halo. Someone said the original Gran Turismo on their PlayStation, and you know, those are games that I'm aware of, and I've Gran Turismo's PlayStation, right? Is Gran Turismo PlayStation? I don't know. Okay, Google. What console did Gran Turismo come out on? Yeah, Gran Turismo is PlayStation. I really hope I didn't mess up anyone with a smart home thing with my asking Google what console Gran Turismo came out on. So yeah, it was PlayStation according to Google. So yeah, so those are all a little bit before my time. Even the GameCube is just mildly before my time. I'm friends with people. I am and was, when I was younger, friends with people who did have GameCubes though. So anyway, and she was like, "Oh, I know Halo. I know Halo." No, sorry, he was like, "Oh yeah, he's not trans. I'm just there are a bunch of new people there that I never really spent much time with, so my brain has sort of muddled them all up." She's like, "Oh, I know Halo. Yeah, I know Halo. And oh, I know Gran Turismo. That's Sony's racing game." And then I said Mario Galaxy, and he's like, "What's Mario Galaxy?" I go, "Oh, it's part of the Mario series." And he goes, "Oh, I know Mario." And I'm like, "Yeah, it was on the Wii." And he's like, "What's a Wii?" I'm like, "It was the console before the Wii U." He's like, "What's a Wii U?" I'm like, "It was the console before the Nintendo Switch." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "Yeah, it was the flagship 3D Mario." And he's like, "Oh, kind of like Odyssey." And I'm like, "Yeah, actually a lot like Odyssey." And he's like, "Cool, cool. So how did the hat mechanic work in that?" And I'm like, "There was no hat mechanic." He actually asked me, how did the hat mechanic work in it? It's like, there was no hat mechanic. He was like, "Well, how do you capture stuff?" And I'm like, you stomped on them like you do in 2D Mario." And he's like, "Really? I would have thought I would have done something cool with it." I'm like, "You were in space! You could do a big spinny attack! You could fire asteroids at things!" Well, star bits, but they were sort of like little asteroid missiles. And he's like, "Huh, that's so weird." And it's like, I feel fucking old now. Because I've just had to explain Mario Galaxy, not to a boomer, but to a zoomer. And that... Oh, the minute you have to start explaining things to young people. The minute you have to start explaining things to young people, you feel old. Yeah, it's really weird feeling like you're the generation who's just gone by, who's starting to explain things, and it's like, I get why the adults like alcohol now. Now, I like alcohol because it's tasty. Some people call me crazy because my favorite is gin. I was actually having a conversation with someone the other day, and they're like, "How do you like gin?" I'm like, "It's tasty. It tastes like, you know, sort of like piney and juniper-y and that sort of very slight orange and lemon peely citrus flavor is just great. And they're like, yeah, but it's so harsh. And I'm like, what's your favorite? And they're like, oh, I love whiskey. And I'm like, it just burns. Whiskey just burns. Gin, meanwhile, has all these pleasant aromatic notes. And so it's like kind of weird, you know? It's like I'm gonna have to quickly. Never been an alcohol person. Oh, that's fair enough. I'm not closing the room because I'm calling it. I'm closing the room because I'm going to get another order of this delicious food. Alright, and I will reopen the room. Actually, I'm going to be joining you. That's fair enough. Ah, I see the battle's already started. Well, don't feel the need to leave on my account. I will be hanging out here in chat while I wait. So it's funny that you say you've never been an alcohol person. It's not funny, actually. It's actually quite understandable. I know lots of people who aren't alcohol people. One thing I will say, though, is I don't drink to get drunk. I drink because it's tasty. So, like, I'll maybe have a cocktail once a week. And it's been like 3 weeks since I've had any alcohol. Outside of what little bit is in mouthwash that's slightly... Because you never quite get all the mouthwash out. And there's like a very tiny amount of methanol in mouthwash, which is the alcohol that the type of alcohol that you really shouldn't drink. Sometimes it's called methyl alcohol. But it's not good for you. Now, ethanol also isn't good for you, but it's less bad for you. But anyway. Yeah, I can get why people wouldn't be into it. It's an acquired taste. You have to try it, get used to the fact that it hurts, and then get past that point where your body stops noticing the hurt to actually start to get enjoyable taste out of it. So, like, completely understandable that you wouldn't be into it. While I wait, I'm actually going to hop into Discord and start putting together the server. fuck me. The thing just crashed. God damn it. Okay, let me see if I can join you now. Okay, I can't, so I will create a room. And I will send out an invite. I also sent out invites for the server where you, me, Implord, and Justin can all hop on a voice call over the Splatfest and over the grind week. I, by the way, have a doctor's appointment Monday at 10 just to see about changing the medication for my my injury, and a job interview at 10:30. But when that's all said and done, we will be I will be back into splatting. Oh, nice, you joined already. Nice. Hopefully, what I'm hoping to do, by the way, is over the summer have acquired enough friends who stream to do a complete and total Mario marathon, where I play through the main story of literally, well, not the main story, but the minimum required to beat the game levels in every Mario game over the summer. But here's the thing, is sure, it might, supposing I play maximally efficiently, Tuesday will be special. Yes, because me, you, and Charlie, also known as the Gamer Mouse, have D&D session -1, I will be splatting in the morning and afternoon, but not in the evening. I might, after the session, if it wraps up before midnight, be doing some Splatoon. But hopefully we will be able to get all of us involved. And for those that aren't comfortable being on call, that's more than okay. I mean, being on call would be nice, but you don't have to have your mic on if you don't feel comfortable having your voice on stream. The goal, by the way, with the Mario thing is to hopefully have enough friends who stream that when I have to sleep, because I did the math, and it might take me a full damn week, based on how long to beat. It might only take me 8 hours based on speedrun.com, but somewhere in between 8 hours and the whole gosh darn week, I'm probably gonna need to sleep. So I'm hoping to have gotten up enough friends who stream that they would be capable of taking over and running the show while I sleep. getting one of my non-Vory friends involved Bacon Video. Now, Bacon Video is neither a furry nor is he Vory, but you know, he's also been a friend for more than a decade at this point. Has it been more than a decade? No, it's been less than a decade. It's been about 8 years. 6 years? 6 years. We've been friends for about 6 years, but he isn't into vor or furry stuff, so we'll be toning that down during the Mario Marathon. I'm saying Mario Marathon because that sounds good together, but normally I say Mario. Hey, we've got a 4th member. Ah, well, I'd be glad to have you aiding the endeavor. And we've got a 4th member, which I'm going to assume is Justin, if your laptop's all charged. If it's not Justin, though, feel free to throw your name in chat. We'd love to have people here. Yeah, the way the marathon would have to work is that it would all be hosted here on the channel, hopefully as like a subathon type thing. And the guests would be taking over, and we'd have to work out some sort of rig for it. So maybe expect to see test streams where we work out the rig, and I'm not sure if you've just lagged out or not. However, I can check here. Wasn't you? Okay. Well, that's all right. Well, map update. All right. Yeah, so, I'm gonna open a room. And I think we're just going to do this for another hour before I call it a night. You know, I want to be heading to bed around midnight Eastern. So, you know, we've already hit midnight Eastern. Well, we'll go to 1 Eastern then. We'll go to 1 Eastern. The time change is just... Yeah, I realize that I've still got a clock that I haven't changed the time to, so I'm still under the impression that it's 11. We'll go until 1 Eastern, so we'll give it another hour. One thing I will say is that there's a weird thing in that not everywhere in Eastern Standard Time changes over the time at the exact same time. So, like... And not all of the time zones even shift at the same time either. Like, where I live, because I'm a Canadian-y. That's why I raise my U's and I say oot and a boot as opposed to out and about. I say oot and a boot. That's the Canadian raising there, eh? And oh yeah, this is actually how most of us Canadians sound. We just put on the American-style English voice for you when we deal with you. You sound more like we're from Minnesota, don't ya know? No, this is actually my natural speaking voice. Earlier on stream, I was doing this, but, a deep voice like this takes quite a bit more concentration to manage and, keep up with. But, just my normal voice is, pretty good. I've actually got a couple of American friends, not just on the server. My boyfriend is also a Yankee, and when we first started calling, he like doing calls and stuff and hanging out, he would always make a little joke at the fact that I say out. I don't say out and about. I say out, that out sound, and he like many Americans says out. There's no sound in that. Oh yeah, up in Minnesota, don't ya know? They sound like this. Oh yeah, it's a big joke up here that all the Minnesotans sound like this, and well, they're basically just diet Canadians, because oh, you get out into Newfoundland thereby and you get some people that sound just like this. It's mostly because there's a really big Irish population out there with the Irish Catholics, and the Irish Catholics sort of have that sort of talk like this here. And I can kind of make that kind of joke because a lot of my heritage is Irish. I wouldn't claim to be Irish. There's also English, Scottish, a bit of German, significant amounts of, actually the biggest two are Polish and Mohawk. First Nations, or Indigenous, or I think in the States they're referred to as American Indians still, or just Indians, but yeah. So I'm an eighth Mohawk Indian, or whatever term is preferred in the South. Oh, you're extremely Irish. Yeah, for me it's Polish and Indigenous, making up the largest portions, with an eighth on both, so a full quarter there. And then the rest is split into Irish, Scottish, German, French, Polish, Scandinavian, a little bit of Turkish, all a sort of blend of weird stuff. Diet Canadians, yum. Oh yeah, you want some low sugar Canadians from Minnesota? We don't have that much syrup in our blood, like them proper Canadians do thereby. But you know, don't you know, we still have as much oil producing as they do in their Alberta, which is kind of like our Texas. Seriously, want to know how much Alberta is like Texas? They're constantly claiming that they can secede whenever they want. They can't. They produce a bunch of oil. They're the hotbed of religious conservatism, as well as homeschooling. And yet their major cities are massively liberal. Which is kind of like Austin and Houston in Texas. As well as Dallas and the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So, you know, Now imagine if your Texas bordered California, and you've essentially got what the situation is like between Alberta and BC. BC is British Columbia. See, BC likes weed. fairly left-wing. Literally, there are two parties there. There's the NDP party and the we're not the NDP party, and it doesn't matter who you are, we're not the NDP party. Oh, I guess we should explain for an American. NDP is the party for unions, whereas, so we have the Liberal Party, which is your Democrats. We have the Conservative Party, which is your Republicans. We've got the NDP, which is, well, they're the Union Party. We've got Le Bloc Québécois, which is the Quebec Separatist Party, because, yeah, they're separatist too. We've got, let's see. Yeah, we've now got the PPC, or the People's Party of Canada, and they're hard-right ultra-nationalists. And then we've got the Green Party, which is the Green Party. Now, what's interesting is, on a provincial level where I'm from, which is Ontario, we've got the Green Party, the NDP, the Liberal Party, but we don't have the Conservatives, we've got the Progressive Conservatives. Technically, the last holdout of that old political party is right here in Ontario. Green Party is Green Party everywhere, yeah. Now, one of the interesting differences in that in the States, blue is the color of the Democrats and red is the color of the Conservatives. Whereas in Canada, the Liberal, or the Republicans, I should say, not the Conservatives, but in Canada, blue is the color of our Conservative Party and red is the color of our Liberal Party. Kind of interesting inversion there. Now, see, as much as not you Americans, but some of you Americans will say that both parties there are the same, they're not the same. Canada's two big political parties, the Liberals and the Conservatives, are actually the same in that they're both centrist parties, which are, so they're neoliberal centrists who want nothing to change. The only difference is the facades that they put on. See, the Liberal Party are very nice and, oh, we love minorities, we love black people, we love women. We don't want to do anything to make their lives materially better, but, oh, we love them. They're salt of the earth people. You should get to know them. We don't want to make their lives better or worse, but, you know, you should really get to know them. They're nice. And the Conservative Party is, we need to lower taxes. And that's literally the only difference. They both believe the same garbage, and they both do, well, it's at least a slightly more functional democracy than the United States in that we actually get laws passed sometimes that aren't massive omnibus bills. But it's horribly dysfunctional. Now, see, here's the weird thing, is that the Democrats in the States, like, they're not all that left-wing. They would happily fit our Conservative Party like a glove. Like, all of their political beliefs are generally what our Conservative Party holds. Meanwhile, the Republicans are actually closer to the PPC or the Bloc Québécois, or Le Bloc Québécois, or even the Social Credit Party when that was still around in BC, or the PPC, which is scary. So, like, they're both utterly useless, and I won't argue that they're not utterly useless. All of the political parties in both of our nations are fairly useless when it comes to getting things done, but they're not really the same. Anyway, that's been my little political rant. I like politics. Ever since I was really little. Actually, one thing that you guys might find funny, so I'm assuming you know who Trudeau is, Justin Trudeau. he is the Prime Minister of Canada, which is... Okay, Canada and the United States do not have analogous political systems. You guys elect a president, and then you elect a Congress. Whereas we have the House of Parliament and the House of Commons. We also have a Congress, but it's also unelected. Yeah, the Overton window just about everywhere is messed up. Hello, Hateo Sarita, welcome. We just got talking about politics while playing some Splatoon. Okay, so you know Canada's political system. Alright. Yeah, so then I guess I don't have to explain it. So Trudeau is our Prime Minister, and he's basically our equivalent to the President, but not really, because he's part of the legislative branch, as opposed to the executive. But the executive and the legislative branch in Canada are kind of fused. In that we don't really have a commander-in-chief. It's technically now it's the king, but he's also technically the head of state, but nah, it's confusing. Anyway, so our well, I'm glad you liked it. So our previous prime minister was Stephen Harper, and that was, let's see, Trudeau has done 8 years so far, and is probably going to get another 4, because he's in his 3rd term right now, but he called an election halfway through his 2nd term. Oh, yeah, and by the way, our politicians can run literally as many times as they want. But Stephen Harper, who was the previous Prime Minister of Canada, actually did more for gay and LGBT rights than Justin Trudeau has done. So, Stephen Harper made gay marriage a thing that could happen in Canada, despite the fact that he expressed that he wasn't a huge fan of it. He was not going to stand in the way of progress and equality, even though his personal beliefs conflicted with that. Meanwhile, Justin Trudeau, the best thing he's done for LGBT rights was Bill C-16, which you might know about because of Porden Jeterson, one of our most sad excuses for an export. So Porden Jeterson, and I'm doing that thing where I sort of do a backronym of his name. It's not actually a backronym, but Justin, you're back. Welcome back. Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. Stephen Harper was a conservative, and a religious conservative, and an outspoken moral conservative. And as Prime Minister, he made gay marriage a thing. The decrepit fuck. I'm assuming you mean Jordan Peterson, a sad excuse for an export. Frankly, I think we should just get rid of him. He's pointless. You know, like, come on, we have way better exports, like Ryan Reynolds. But anyway, he got famous over Bill C-16, which he complained about was going to make him have to follow draconian laws and, you know, compel him to speak. And so I have read the text of Bill C-16, and I did this at the time too. But literally the text of Bill C-16 is an amendment to the Human Rights Code, outlining that you cannot discriminate people and when they're buying stuff from you. Like, you can't say, oh, I'm not going to sell to you because you're trans. You can't deny them housing based on their gender identity, like because they're trans, or cis, actually, for that fact. And you can't deny them access to education. Like, you can't deny them employment, housing, goods and services, or education because they're trans. That's literally all it does. That's all it did, right? And it was made clear in the Okay, so Canadian laws are a little bit different than United States laws, but they have a lot of similarities. It literally had in like the foreword of the bill that it didn't actually change anything. It was just an explicit outlining of how judges had already interpreted that section of Canadian law. And he got so bent out of shape over that. And he got famous because of it. And, it's such a sorry thing. I'm very sad that that played out the way it did. Because essentially what happened was people bought into an outright falsehood. None of them did the skeptical thing and checked. And it spread like wildfire. Like, so weird. But anyway, that's my political rant over. Um, I hope it was enjoyable. Yeah, outrage gets eyes, and very few people are ever skeptical enough to go and check. Back when this all happened, which was a number of years ago, this was 2016, which, oh, fuck. Yeah, that was a long-ass time ago, 2016, shit. So when all this played out in 2016, like, very few people were actually skeptical enough to go and check, and find out that, no, he was just lying. Like, many people took his assumed premise as truth and then tried to argue against why what he believed was the true state of fact. No one went, okay, but have you read the text of the bill? Here's what it says. It does not describe what you say it says. So, like, no one did that. No one did that. And, I'm sorry to say that it was a oddly striking foreshadowing of what we saw come to pass in recent years in the United States, in Texas, in Georgia, in Florida, with the current trans panic. But I gotta get off politics, or I'm gonna start losing people here. Yeah, outrage does beget out. Outrage gets eyes, and it does not always attract the most skeptical crowds. Death of curiosity is a horrible thing. To get me off the politics note, I'm curious, what was everyone in chat's first game system? Yes, Justin, by the way, I am doing good. I'm curious, chat, what was everyone's first game system? I will go first. We're not asking exclusively about consoles, but game systems generally. My first was a Game Boy Advanced SP, and the game I got with it was Road Rash. Road Rage? Oh, I see. Are you older or just happen to acquire uh, one of those systems? I've actually got my Game Boy Advanced SP right here. And does it have charge in it? It does. I'm gonna have to crank up the brightness. Let me just... Oh, I got a new badge. Nice. This is Mega Man Zero, which... Actually, it's Mega Man Zero 3. It didn't make the click. There we go. One of these days, I'm gonna have to get the Mega Man ZX collection. And play it on stream, because that was actually my first Mega Man game. I'm just gonna assume that, yeah, Knightley's still online, so I'm gonna create a room, and I'm gonna open it up. So, Justin, I'm curious, are you older and, grew up in the 80s, or were you born into a family that had those, or... Like, are you, like, older? Did you grow up in the 80s? Or were you born into a family that had those? Or did you just happen to acquire them? Oh, you were born in the 2000s. Okay. So then I'm guessing that you are either born into a family that already had them. Okay. Yeah, I can get that. Yeah. Yeah, the SNES and the N64 are both really good systems. Okay, Knightley, your first system was a Wii. Okay, yeah. So the Wii was actually my second system. So it took... So, I'm gonna get the chronology wrong on this, but my, now deceased, I'm sorry to say, grandma got, when she got a, DS in the early 2000s, when those were new, and I was still a fairly young kid, she gave me and my brother, Game Boy Advanced SP, which I have taken ownership of since he does not do much in the way of gaming. Then we got, as a family, we got a Wii. Back when those first came out, like, we got one, like, I think it was just like, it was either 6 months to a year after they came out. Because the place where my dad worked, they got some to do a giveaway with at the Christmas party, and my dad, he won one. And so we had a Wii as a family and played a lot of Wii Sports and Mario Kart. Actually, Mario Kart Wii is still the game that I have the most hours in. I one time went through on the Wii and checked and did the math, and I have at least 10,000 hours in that. Which would make it the game that I have the most hours in out of any single game. On the Wii, yeah, actually not on the Wii, but in general, it's the game that I have the most single hours in. Oh, fencing was Wii Sports Resort. I don't think fencing was a part of the original Wii Sports. You've now got me mildly doubtful, so I'm actually... Shit, if I had a composite capture card, I would fire up my Wii, but I don't. Okay, so it was Resort. By the way, Hayato... Hayato Surya. I'm going to assume that it's Hayato. How did you come to find us? Is it off of the Toby server, or did you come across the one of the tags that we've got listed, or what? I'm just kind of curious. Also, I hope I'm saying the name correctly. For any curious who haven't heard the intro, it's Nitsuj or Nitsuj. Both are perfectly acceptable. It's, as far as I know, a fictional nickname that a friend of mine made up. Just browsing. Okay. Okay, if you could give me a phonetic breakdown of it, even if you're just pulling bits out of other words, that would be great. I don't want to say your name wrong. It's Pudge. So, Hayato. Is Hayato correct? Hayato? Alright, Hayato, I think I was saying Hayato. Hayato, do you know what vor is? Just because I'm kind of curious. Someone has tapped out. I'm gonna quickly check. It's not nightly. Okay. Alright, Justin, if you are still in the chat, would you like to enlighten Hayato as to what vor is? By the way, I should say that this is an 18+ stream. So if you're not 18+, this may not be a great place for you to hang out. But given your enjoyal of the politics rant, I'm going to assume that you are. Okay. Yeah, Justin basically just described it. Oh no, sorry, that wasn't Justin. That was Nightly. I guess he put that in there following one of his deaths. Knightley put in a brief explanation of what it is. Yeah, it's not something you have to be strictly into to hang out here, and I hope you will hang out here. Because we like to keep this a fairly fun place. If it's not your thing, that's totally cool. Just don't kink shame anyone in chat, but yeah. Yes, as Justin said, this is a place where we want everyone to respect each other, both those who are and aren't into it. As you can also probably tell, I'm a furry, and quite possibly most of the other people are as well, given that I've got a knockoff Protogen slash Primogen as my my PNG tuber. It's actually a recording that I made this morning. Or, not this morning, sorry, about, it was a recording that I took a while back, during the morning. Being live on stream has a tendency for me to trip over my own words. Well, I'm glad you're liking it. Plus, like, some people listen to this stuff as a sort of ASMR thing outside of, like, being into it on, like, a kink level. So, like, that's kind of neat. I mean, hey, everyone's special, We've all got some little weird, unique quirk or trait. We were talking about consoles that we grew up with. I'd be curious, Hayato, to know what your first console is. Actually, speaking of that, I actually got sidetracked, telling the story of how I came to possess my my consoles. So let's see. My grandma, who passed away during the first year of the pandemic due to lung cancer, she was a long-time smoker, but she'd actually been trying to quit and stuff like that. So when I was much younger, very early 2000s, the year the DS came out. Okay. You got a Nintendo DS. Well, that's fair as a first console. So when she got a DS, the year that they came out, she got, I actually do have now the DS that she got when they first came out. I have used it only once. It is a Gen 1 DS. There are a lot of emotions tied up in it, given how recently she passed. She gave me and my brother a Game Boy Advanced SP, which I have right next to me. It didn't do it. She gave me and my brother a Game Boy Advanced SP. Then my dad, the place that he worked, they got some DSs. 6 months to a year after the not DSs, Wii's. 6 months to a year after the Wii came out, they got those at the company Christmas party. And my dad won one of them, and so we got a family Wii, which is currently set up in my living room. Well, it's not actually a living room, but you know what I mean, because this is a pretty crappy apartment. And and it's hooked up to the same CRT that my SNES is, because I have an SNES. So we got that 6 months to a year after that came out. I'm gonna have to check when they came out, because I know that they had, like, not been out long. It was the Christmas after they came out. That we got one from the Christmas party. And let's see, then on a trip to Sudbury, Ontario, because that's the province I'm from as a kid, Zellers, a very Canadian store, was going out of business, and me and my brother both got our own DSs, specifically DSIs, for $50 a piece. These weren't used, refurbished DSIs, no. These were brand spanking new DSIs. They'd only been on the market for, like, a year at that point, you know. They didn't have any Excels. Those, I think, came out a little bit later. But, oh, yes, I live in Canada. Two of our viewers are from America. I'd be curious to know where you're from. Spanking new. Yes, they were. So they were pretty darn new at the time. The DSi. The Excel hadn't come out yet, and we got new, not used ones for $50. I still have the box and the manual to it, and it still has on the receipt that my dad put inside, just in case we needed the warranty before Zellers closed for good. Oh, you're from Russia. Okay, nice, nice. I lost my train of thought. Got it back. So, my dad put the receipt inside each of the DSs, and they each got their own receipt, because that's how you did the warranty, was you'd come in with the receipt for the thing and go, this is the thing, I need the warranty, I need it replaced under warranty. Oh, you're in London. Okay, London's great, actually. What time is it in London, I wonder? I know when Toby finishes his stream, when it starts his streams, it'll be early morning for you. It'll be early morning for you anyway. So yeah, inside my box, because I've still got the original box for my DS, and I've checked the serial number, and it's the same serial number, meaning I don't have my brother's. Inside is a receipt for $55.76. That's with tax, by the way, which is 13 cents on the dollar. It's like 6 a.m. right now. Well. That is pretty early. So, yeah, with that, the 13 cents on the dollar, it was probably more like 40, 48, 49, 47? Somewhere in that 40s ballpark. I'll have to check after the stream. I said that must be pretty early for you. But anyway, with tax on the DS's, so it was like 55 something, and tax here is 13 cents on the dollar. Must have been like 45, 48 bucks for the DS's. And then when we, so that was on the Sudbury trip, to Sudbury, Ontario, where the nickel mine is. That's when we got the DS's, or DSIs. Oh, okay, sorry, my bad. Oh, sorry, I misread what you said. Sorry, because I'm only glancing over at chat because it's on my phone. I read it as, could you say that again? That's my bad. Okay, yeah. So we got those on the Sudbury trip, which was ultimate, which was awesome. Then when we moved to where my parents are living now and entered the hell situation, which I will not explain why it's the hell situation, but when we entered the hell situation, we got a Wii U. And honestly, I think it's an underrated gem of a system. I played that at my folks until I moved out and got. I took my Wii Mini with me, which I left out of the story because it was really just a thing so that way I could play games in my room when I was sick. It's just an extension of the Wii at that point. So when I got the Wii Mini, when we moved here, we got a Wii U, and when I moved out, I set up a Raspberry Pi running RetroPie, and it was the original one, the original like full stack computer one, not the nano thing that's like a build your own computer with breadboard parts and sort of like an Arduino. No, like the proper computer one. I hooked up it and got RetroPie, and a friend of mine had, and actually still has, a thing for ripping the ROMs off of Game Boy carts, which the United States and Canada both have upheld as legal. Oh, excuse me. As legal under the law, and I emulated those on RetroPie. And then 2 years ago, now I got a Nintendo Switch. I never actually played any of the Toys to Life things up until LEGO Dimensions. That was the only Toys to Life game that I played. I've actually still got all the LEGO Dimensions stuff. That's part of why I want to set up a Wii U. I want to get a Wii U and set it up, so that way I can stream playing through all of LEGO Dimensions. Well, Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon, the original, were both fantastic games. Splatoon, really, I think if it had come out at the start, would have been the Wii U's killer app. Yeah, I can honestly get a situation like that. That's part of the hell situation that I alluded to earlier and will not explain further. Well, I did not raise myself. During the hell situation, I was pretty much left to my own devices, which pretty much meant me being left to my own devices, in the very literal sense of an iPad. We'd had one for a couple years up before the hell situation. We got one right when they were new, again, through my dad's work, they were giving them away at their Christmas party. And by giving them away, I mean there was like this raffle thing that like the employees could enter and stuff. Oh, you're cute too, Justin. You know, buttering up people is nice. You know, it's like complimenting them. By the way, Hayato, if you've had a good time, I hope you'll give us the honor of hitting follow there, so we can have you come hang out on future live streams. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Aw, well, thank you for the follow. You know, I've explained the origin of the name Nitsuj, or Nietsuj, either way you want to say it is good. So it's a nickname that goes back to when I was in grade 5. I had this, our homeroom I say homeroom, like that's actually a thing you have in grade 5. The teacher that I had in grade 5 was an art major, and he had this thing that he would make students do called ambigrams, where you would write your name, and then you would flip the piece of paper over and write your name again, and then have to create a shape that took all of the main key parts of all of those letters and strung them together as a sort of little art signature that you could put on all of your little pieces of art, because he was... no, that's not actually the origin of the name, so it's this ambigram. And so the way my name happened to line up when both ways looks like Nitsuj. When put through that ambigram process. And no, my name is not Justin with a Y. Okay, you've totally called me out. My name is actually just Justin with a Y. But people only called me Nietsuj well, yeah, so the teacher was, so he was Ukrainian. Well, his parents were Ukrainian immigrants to Canada. He wasn't Ukrainian himself. So he would pronounce it Nietsuj, with the Y being... He would also call me Justin, with the Y, whereas most other people call me Justin as if it was a Y, or if it was an I. But anyway. So, that is actually the origin of the nickname, but my name is Justin with a Y. So, you know what? I am... Before the stream is over, I will draw up the ambigram that I had. If I can... You know what? Next stream, I will have prepared the version of the ambigram as far as I can remember it that resulted in me getting the name Nietsuj. Oh, well, thank you for the hug. Yeah, it just stuck as a screen name from then on. Because it's like, I need this thing that isn't my name. A few of my friends call me Nietzsche because they know the teacher who called me Nietzsche. Guess I'll go with that because it's not my name. And then, I'm setting up a, back when we got an... when I set up an Xbox account at a friend's house, it's like, oh, I shouldn't use my real name. I know, I'll go with Nietzsche. And then whenever I was over at that friend's house playing Xbox, people would call me Nietzsche in chat, and so that was cool, and so it kind of stuck. And when I was setting up both my Nintendo Switch and my Twitch channel, I went with Nietzsche. Now, Nobel is not actually my name. It's not even how you spell noble. So... Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that you love everyone here. So, the Nobel part actually comes from when I was setting this up. I was in the works of doing up the Nobel Gundam. I was, so I've got the parts for it, sitting in a box for when the weather gets good so I can spray paint it to look like Iron Valiant from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And I was trying to think of, I went to type it in and Nietzsche was taken, and I'm like, damn it, what can I do? I know, I will go with Nietzsche_Nobel, because that's the Gundam I'm working on building, and I'm sure no one will ever want to watch me stream, so I can just name it whatever the hell I want. So that way I can stream with my nickname that I use as a screen name for everything. Yeah, in the fall when the DLC for Scarlet and Violet come out, I'm actually going to be doing a Nuzlocke in Violet, playing through the DLC, and yeah, so that'll be quite fun, I think. I'll be playing through the Nuzlocke in Violet, doing the DLC. I might also just do a non-Nuzlocke playthrough where I try and 100% the decks in Scarlet, given that's actually the one I played through. I can't agree that Violet is better. So I actually so this is a weird thing. So when I played the game, I had been trying to figure out what Sona idea would be cute. And as I was playing through it, and I played through it on launch day, so I actually got both launch day. I've actually got the box that they came in. I have not redeemed the code in either game for the 100 Pokeballs that you can get. I think both sets of Paradox Pokemon are cool. So I was playing through. So I'd got them both. I'd pre-ordered because I had credit at my local game store worth essentially the price of a new game, and I went, oh, what game do I want to get? What game do I want to get? I'm pre-ordering Scarlet and Violet. I want to get the Pokemon games, so you know what? I will just pre-order the both of them, and when I have the both of them, I can pick which one I want to play. And then a friend of mine who I've done streams with, Bacon Video, he's a really fun guy, he had bought he had bought Violet, so I played through Scarlet, so we could trade Pokemon with each other. And both complete our Pokédexes. Oh, Bacon Video. Well, while the food bacon is tasty, Bacon Video is not into vor. So we don't really discuss that with him. He's actually not a very kinky person at all. Gotta have a sip of water here. Yes, Bacon Video is a friend of mine. And I assumed that they were making a joke because their name is Bacon Video. Oh, it's more than fine, more than fine. Yes, it's 1. So, I am going to, first, I'm going to change, so I'm gonna, stop playing Splatoon for the night. But I'm not quite done the stream yet. So, first, I'm going to pick out my next bit of gear. I am annoyed that they have called this the Sporty Bobble Hat and not a Sporty Toque. Because it's a toque. And I'm going to change my shoes and go with these turquoise kicks. And I am annoyed that the pants are capris, so I'm going to change them to being shorts. Well, some stuff is certainly going on in chat. I'm going to head through and check the shops to see if there's anything I need to pick up. Alright, well, we're going to pick up a splat charger. Not that I use those, I'm a dually player. Alright, we've got some new headgear. Ooh, new glasses. Ooh, and 3 slots to fill up. That'll be quite nice. Gonna pick up some shirts. Oh, well, I'm glad you had fun. Hopefully over the coming week, where we're going to be doing lots of grinding in Splatoon to get ready for the Splatfest. We will have lots more opportunity for this. And here are our catalog rewards. Alright, so we got a sticker, we got an emote, we got a bag of cards, we got we got a paintbrush bucket, paintbrush cup for the locker, I'm assuming. We got a meal ticket. We got a splash tags. We got 2 splash tags and a backdrop, and what I'm going to assume is another sticker. A banner. Yeah, new titles. A pack of cards. And we're gonna pick up, actually I've already got one of them crates. Ooh, an umbrella. I do not have one of them. I'll just pick up the things I don't already have one of. And I don't have one of them, so I will pick that up as well. And that's everything from the shops. Oh, Justin. And I'm just going to quickly head around to see if there's any art. There was a Peridot thing that I saw at one point that I sadly did not get to grab, because there was a map update as soon as I went to go take a screenshot of it. So, that changed the art. Oh, birthday posts are nice. I think I've already grabbed that birthday post, in all honesty. Yeah, I just want to see if I can find the Peridot post anywhere. While I'm not a fan of the Overwatch promotion, I am a fan of gay rights. I've already got the Alien team featuring Despair one, so I won't pick that up. That's good Spike art. Spike, my love. I feel like that's like something trying to make fun of like the 14-year-old girls who on Twitter are like fascinated with the mildly edgy white boys. The mildly edgy white boys. Invader Zim Splatfest. We're gonna grab that one. I've already got the Knuckles, but that is good. Aww, poor alien boy. No, Blue. No. Randy. Iron Squid. Sounds so much cooler than Randy. For non-Canadians, you might not know the Trailer Park Boys, but Randy is a character on the Trailer Park Boys who constantly takes his shirt off. We're gonna give the Nessie team a little bit of love here. If you're going to do Discord stuff, I'd recommend doing it over whispers as opposed to doing it in the live chat. You've already put it out there. Nessie from Mario 64? Well, if it was Nessie from Mario 64, then I'd be Team Nessie, but as it's just the Loch Ness Monster, I went Team Aliens. Because, let's be honest, like, they've got Nessie, and then they've got aliens, and these guys are just cute. We've got Bigfoot, Nessie. I'm gonna have to go take a picture of that, because I don't know what that guy is, but he is certainly cute. Do any of you in chat happen to know who this character is? Because if you happen to know who this character is, let me know. Alright, Justin says he's never seen them. Justin, whisper your Discord to... please stop licking Hayato. Nightly, if you're still in the chat, do you recognize who this character is? Zero clue. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna see if Zero X Lu is actually a thing, because I'm curious now. Because if that is actually the answer, that would be... Huh. Seems to be a dubstep thing. Oh, okay. It was Zero Clue just spelled badly. Yes, actually, there is a Discord. I will drop a link to the Splatoon Cuties Discord that I have fired up for the Splatfest, and you can hop in there and join. So let me just settings. No, wrong tab. Oh, for fuck's sakes. My notifications are going off the fucking rails right now. Invite members. Copy link. Alright, and I have sent the Splatoon Cuties Discord link in chat, so join. If you join there, you can find Mask Justin, Knightley, and myself, actually, as well. My PNG tuber on this new rig seems to be having a bit of issues. Because I will stop talking and it'll take seconds to, You do it when you got your phone on you? Alright, well, copy the link out as well, just in case it doesn't work in a replay. Anyway, I think it's time to draw this to a close. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Nitsuj Nobel. You can find us on YouTube at you can find us on YouTube at Nitsuj_Nobel. If you're watching this as a re-upload on YouTube, you can find us on Twitch here at Nitsuj_Nobel. And if you're watching this as a clip on Twitter, you can find us here on Twitch or on YouTube at Nitsuj_Nobel. Thank you all so much for following. We've got, I think, we got 2 followers this stream, that being Knightley and Hayato. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. Goodbye.